Hey, I'm Casey, and today I'm going to be talking about how to make your blog more accessible to people with disabilities. As many as 1 in 5 people have some kind of disability, and in the United States alone, people with disabilities have twice as much discretionary income as American teenagers, yet remain this undertapped market that we could be utilizing. Can you afford to exclude these visitors, these readers, these potential customers from your blog or website? Of course not, and you shouldn't want to. Making your blog more accessible for everybody is a great way to show your audience that you're willing to put in the effort to care about their individual needs. It's also the decent thing to do. But where do you start? If you're a vlogger like myself, starting out by focusing on the hearing impaired is a great way to help expand your audience. YouTube does this thing where it has automatic closed captioning, but it's not very sophisticated yet, and sometimes it needs a little help. You can fix the mistakes YouTube makes by going to the captions option in the video editing bar above your video and correcting the mistakes that the AutoCap made. People will appreciate the extra effort it takes to go back and to write up a transcript for all of your videos. I'm going to go back and do that to all my videos when I have time this week, and I suggest you do the same. Another thing you need to be aware of is trigger warnings. If you post anything that could be potentially triggering on Tumblr or YouTube or wherever else, it's a good idea to post trigger warnings in the tags or before the text or image that could be triggering. Some people blacklist certain tags so that they don't get triggered. Being triggered does not mean getting upset. Being triggered means having a potentially harmful response to something like a panic attack or a flashback to traumatic experiences, or the urge to self-harm, or suicidal thoughts, or the aggravation of a mental illness, depressive mood swings, or like a relapse in eating disorders or other destructive behaviors, and it can be really harmful to some people. You should put warnings on anything that could do this for somebody. Most people agree that you should warn for graphic descriptions or images of abuse, especially sexual abuse and rape and incest, descriptions of images of self-harm, suicide, and or disordered eating, and other things like violence against women, animal abuse, torture, war, slurs, and gratuitous violence. When in doubt, use a trigger warning. Epilepsy warnings are just as important. You should tag every moving .gif image with an epilepsy warning, but this is especially true of flashing images. Videos with quick cuts or flashing or flickering lights, especially strobe lights and that sort of thing, should also have a warning on them, either at the start of the video or in like the description, right at the top of the description so it doesn't get cut off, as well as in the tags. This is very important because for people with photosensitive epilepsy, these images could cause seizures or even death, which you don't want to be responsible for. Keeping on the same train of thought, you should be putting an image description beneath photos on your blog. This is primarily for the visually impaired users of the internet. Image descriptions have become popular on Tumblr because people with visibility issues often have these things called screen readers, which can read text but not images. An image description should be brief but informative and descriptive, and should include all the text that's on the image if there's text on the image. On Tumblr, you can put the image description beneath the image in the description. On other websites, there's usually an option for alternative text when you upload an image, or if you're using HTML, adding alt equals and then your image description to the image tag will give alternative text when you hover over the image and will be able to be read by screen readers. Also, avoid links that just say click here, because that doesn't tell your reader anything about what's behind the link. Description is your friend. If you can, put your blog roll or your link bar on the right hand side of the screen, because screen readers will read from the top left, and you don't want to have someone read through your list of links over and over and over again in order to get to the content of your page. Last but not least, be empathetic. Just think about what your blog would look like to someone with a disability and make the changes that you feel are necessary. Whether it's just making the text larger or removing auto-start music or a flashing background, making your blog more accessible for everybody is a great way to bring in a new demographic. And you need all the viewers you can get, right? I know I do. And I hope I'll see you next week.